I have definitely a few questions for you, but it's a really, really nice job. I was going to ask if you guys actually used ChatGPT to put yourselves in those shirts and caps, but it looks like you actually got shirts and caps. So from the pictures of working on the solution. So I'm going to, I've got a set of questions for you, and then the team is monitoring, and I'm looking at the chat as well. I'm gonna ask about the first question. Actually, is about the use of generative AI. How did you find? How did you use generative AI? I'm sure you did, but I mean, how did you use generative AI as you were building this solution for your project, and how valuable did you find it?
So I will answer for the data modeling. We use generative AI to help us to build the 2 layers. For the first one, it was very useful because it was a time series model. So generative AI could help me understand and go through all the Excel and do all the clean all the data on the Excel, because it's hard to find a data set that is clean and organized. But for the second one, I see one limit to generative AI. It was with all the macroeconomics data. Depending on the prompt I was asking, so I used ChatGPT in general, and depending on the prompt, generative AI could go on one way, agree with me, and then go on the completely opposite way, which would be disagree. But I had difficulty to ask him to take a clear statements and to help me in this. So I did the analysis of macroeconomics by myself, and I just asked him to put all the data together and to merge them into one file.
Great. How about other areas of what other areas for your project did you use generative AI? The presentation, the marketing, whatever.
For the presentation about all the risk, I used AI to just summarize and to be really consistent. And also about for what was really strong is when we had the final slide, we just asked ChatGPT to make a transcript of it for our notes to learn about it. So we just don't have the text, which is the same on the presentation, just a summary on it of it. But I think beside of these 2 use cases, I think we didn't use AI just.
So we did
there's nothing wrong with using AI, man.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but we used to use it too. So.
Very good, thank you. So Anne has a question about. Did you compare outputs from different AI models? And that's 1. And 2, did you consider how the solution will be maintained for an ongoing reliability?
For the data modeling, I was always using ChatGPT and Gemini, and I was comparing the both of them for the outcome. Good. And to maintain a reliability, I think it will depend on the data, because to give the 2026 forecast, I use data forecast I could find online, and I think forecast for 1 year regarding the GDP growth is not. It may be reliable, but in 10 years harder. So it will mainly depend on what data you use for this model.
Very good. Okay. I saw in your presentation you had a kind of an error rate of 13% on the actual data. I think when you were doing maybe layer 1. Sorry, I saw an error rate of 13%. I wanted to ask if that was on your 80-10-10 split. Was that on the actual data or synthetic data?
So, but I think it was 12 on the synthetic data, and it was 13 at the end on the total. But yeah, 13 was on the complete data, so 2022 and test period to 2025, here, and we got less for the synthetic data, which is, oh, sorry, that was Sarima. So we got 11% for the total data. So test periods and training periods. And for only the training period, we had also 11%.
I know we talked about this briefly, Chloe. Did you build synthetic data?
Yes. So the first part was synthetic data. I will just show you this because I did not have enough data to make the model train on what I had. So I had annual data for 2015, 2021, the first part you can see. And I had quarterly data for the second part. So I extended the data sets. So I kept the real annual totals and I slipped them into quarters using the same seasonal pattern. So I used generative AI to do that, of course. But that gave me enough data points, but it's still not enough. I think with a better data sets, like with the company's data, it may work better.
Yeah, I think you guys, the four of you, should email Porsche and see if they'd hire you. Okay, Michael, my friend, somebody that's becoming my friend, and I've turned out also a neighbor. They didn't even know. Michael is asking, beautiful presentation and quite thorough. Can you speak to how you would deal with data latency issues with macroeconomic data and how it would impact this model? Very good question, Michael.
That's a great question. What I do understand by latency is the fact that it may change a lot, vary a lot. I would say that it depends. I think you have to use different type of sources of data if you want to have an accurate model at the end. So you have to compare them. I know I use official data, like what the Fed would say about next year, what different big organization could produce for forecast data. And I think you have to keep official sources and have different sources. Like with generative AI, you don't rely only on what ChatGPT could say. You will go and check on Gemini. You will go and check on all the sources. I would work with that.
Very good. Ken, do you have any questions? Alicia tells you guys this is impressive. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I don't know if Ken has any questions for you. So another question from Michael, could you see transaction data from target audience segments helping?
Yes, definitely. So there is different type of data I didn't use. So competitors data and target audience data. And so because I wasn't sure about the target audience data, I think the company may have more data on that. I wasn't sure. I think the target audience is more diversified and more different. So this could be very helpful. Yeah.
Very good. Okay, I think on so Porsche will hire you tomorrow if you add, is what Michael is telling you. All right. So I think as a conclusion, just to kind of close this out, can you guys just kind of, if you don't mind, each of you give us just like a 1 minute reflection on this journey that you've had in this semester, from going from very little AI work outside of generative AI to everything that you've learned, to say how this is going to impact, how you see this impacting your career moving forward, given that you've actually sunk your teeth into classical AI as well as generative AI and looked at real world problems. What was the journey like for you, and how has it changed the way that you're looking at the world?
I could start. We can do it that way, sure. Well, indeed, it was quite a journey. I know that in the first classes, I was saying, Chloe, that I didn't understand anything of it, like the data analyzation, like building data into Colab and everything. But once you really put your head into it, it becomes very clear, and it really helps me understand how AI is working and how I can use it. It was very interesting working on the capstone presentation. I did the beginning of the work with Chloe. She was the one really into it about modeling, but understanding the layers, how we could build this model, what for the first layer is doing, what the second one is doing, like understanding all what is going on when you use AI was very interesting. So I know that I will use it in further experiences.
Thank you, Ines.
I think for my parts at the beginning, I used to work a little bit with data, but I was completely afraid of it and completely lost in the data. And I think with this course, I understand better how is it built, how does generative AI will answer me depending on what I have, how is it built, how it function, and I end up liking it. So I think it would have a huge importance in our future career.
Very good. Thank you, Chloe.
Yes. For my side, I think first of all on the personal side, yes. When we had the first class with you, Professor, I was also lost about data, etc. Because I've always been afraid of lots of numbers and lots of formulas, etc. Especially coding, and we all use generative AI since I think 3 years from now. So from in our studies. And in general, when our schools first were saying we just don't use and generative AI will be just forbidden and it would be a crime to use it, now we are seeing really nice implementing classes and how we use it in on the personal and business side. And for example, with our assignments on Google Colab and notebooks, I used lots of generative AI to just explain me which step, etc. Just not like
Very good.
copy a prompt and just pasting it on chat and just opening a Word document and just uploading it. I mean, just under this understanding the steps and all the steps of it. And data would be really interesting. Data is, I think, the most important element in the company. And for this business project, for this capstone project, I've worked in the automotive industry in France. So in Europe, we have lots of regulatory pressure and lots of regulatory uncertainty. And the automotive industry in France and Europe doesn't go really well now, and with lots of external threats. But just to summarize that, maybe this data and this prediction could help the companies, for example, Porsche, Volkswagen, or Audi, to just help predict the future and maybe set the strategy with it. And I think this is the most important element that I took from this class.
Very good. Thank you, Thomas.
Yeah. So for me, I was also kind of afraid and lost at the beginning. Like Thomas said, a lot of numbers. It was really difficult for me to understand, but you explained it really easily. And we will need AI for sure in our future and data. So I just thought that, yeah, I just have to understand the meaning of it and how can I use it in my future professional life. So that's what we learned and what we did. And this capstone project helped us a lot with that. So thank you.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you. Well, again, guys, well done. This is great work. Very impressive.